the Zodiac Killer remains one of the most infamous and elusive serial killers in American history. Operating in the late 1960s and early 1970s, his identity continues to baffle investigators. The Zodiac Killer's identity is shrouded in mystery. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, he was never caught. He taunted police and media with cryptic letters and ciphers, some of which remain unsolved. These communications were signed with a distinctive symbol resembling a crosshair, further deepening the enigma surrounding his true identity. The Zodiac Killer claimed to have murdered 37 people, though only 5 confirmed victims are attributed to him. These victims were young couples, often attacked in secluded areas. The first known victims were Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, shot on December 20th, 1968. His attacks were brutal, leaving communities in fear and authorities scrambling for answers. The Zodiac Killer's modus operandi was chillingly methodical. He often targeted couples in remote locations, using a firearm or knife. His attacks were swift and lethal. After each crime, he sent taunting letters to newspapers, demanding they be published, and included cryptic puzzles, challenging authorities to catch him. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror began on December 20th, 1968, near Vallejo, California. High school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were parked on a secluded road when they were brutally shot. This marked the beginning of a chilling series of murders. The killer struck again on July 4th, 1969, at Blue Rock Springs Park, also near Vallejo. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were sitting in a car when they were ambushed. Michael survived despite multiple gunshot wounds, providing the first description of the attacker. The Zodiac's third attack occurred on September 27, 1969, at Lake Berryessa. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were relaxing by the lake when they were approached by a hooded figure. The assailant stabbed them both, leaving a chilling message on their car door. The final confirmed murder took place on October 11, 1969, in San Francisco. Taxi driver Paul Stein was shot in the head by a passenger. The killer sent a piece of Stein's shirt to the press, taunting the police and solidifying his notoriety. Despite extensive investigations, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer has never been confirmed. The killer's ability to evade capture, coupled with their cryptic communications, has led to numerous theories and suspects. Yet the mystery remains unsolved, leaving both law enforcement and amateur sleuths puzzled. Central to the Zodiac Killer's notoriety are the ciphers sent to newspapers. These coded messages were filled with cryptic symbols and taunting clues. While some have been deciphered, others remain uncracked, fueling speculation about their true meaning and the killer's intentions. The Zodiac Killer's signature was a circle with a cross through it, a symbol that became synonymous with fear. The killer's letters to the press and police were filled with taunts, mocking their inability to catch him and threatening further violence, adding to the terror. Decades later, the Zodiac Killer case continues to intrigue and baffle. Despite advances in forensic science and technology, the killer's identity remains a mystery. The Zodiac Killer's legacy endures, a chilling reminder of a criminal who outwitted authorities and left a haunting mark on history. The Zodiac Killer case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history. Active in Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s, the killer is confirmed to have murdered at least 5 people. The police investigation was extensive, involving multiple law enforcement agencies. Despite the efforts, the killer's identity eluded capture. The case was marked by cryptic messages and symbols, adding layers of complexity to the investigation. The Zodiac Killer taunted law enforcement and the media with a series of letters and phone calls. These communications were filled with cryptic ciphers and chilling threats. The killer sent letters to local newspapers, demanding they be published or more people would die. One of the most famous ciphers, known as the Z340, was unsolved for over 50 years before being cracked in 2020. These messages were a crucial part of the killer's modus operandi. Over the years, numerous suspects have been considered in the Zodiac Killer case. Arthur Lee Allen was one of the most prominent suspects, but no conclusive evidence linked him to the crimes. Other suspects included Ross Sullivan and Lawrence Kane, among others. Despite advancements in forensic technology, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer remains a mystery. The case continues to intrigue and baffle both investigators and the public alike. The Zodiac Killer, a notorious figure in American criminal history, is infamous for the cryptic letters sent to newspapers in the late 1960s. These letters contained ciphers and taunts, challenging authorities and the public. Despite intense scrutiny, many of these codes remain unsolved, adding to the mystery. The Zodiac Killer's letters captured the media's attention, creating a frenzy that fueled public fear and fascination. The killer's ability to manipulate the media spotlight was unprecedented, turning the case into a national spectacle. This media coverage kept the Zodiac Killer in the public consciousness for decades. Psychologists have attempted to profile the Zodiac Killer, suggesting traits of narcissism and a need for control. The killer's desire for attention and intellectual superiority is evident in the complex ciphers and the taunting nature of the letters. However, the true identity and motivations remain elusive. The Zodiac Killer's final confirmed murder took place on October 11, 1969. Taxi driver Paul Stine was shot in San Francisco's Presidio Heights neighborhood. Unlike previous attacks, this murder occurred in an urban setting, and the killer left behind a bloody fingerprint, yet managed to evade capture. Despite extensive investigations, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains a mystery. The killer taunted police and media with cryptic letters and ciphers, some of which remain unsolved. The Zodiac claimed responsibility for 37 murders, but only 5 have been confirmed. The case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American criminal history. The Zodiac Killer case is classified as a cold case, meaning it remains unsolved despite ongoing efforts. Over the years, numerous suspects have been proposed, but none have been definitively linked to the crimes. Advances in forensic technology, such as DNA analysis, offer hope for future breakthroughs in the case. The Zodiac Killer has left a lasting impact on popular culture, inspiring numerous books, films, and documentaries. The killer's cryptic communications and elusiveness have fascinated the public, making the case a subject of endless speculation and intrigue. The Zodiac's legacy endures as a chilling reminder of unsolved mysteries,